Welcome to the Wrestling Roundtable. My name is Peter Boone, and we have a great show for you this evening. Joining me tonight will be all of the champions associated with the XW2000 wrestling promotion that is here in Milton, Florida. I will have both their World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions and their World Heavyweight Champion joining me today for a conversation to introduce them to the fans and just talk about wrestling in general, and just give them an opportunity to really, present themselves to all of the fans out there. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Joining me first, of course, will be their World Tag Team Champions. They wrestle as Wildcat Jamie Powell and Chris Matthews. They are the World Tag Team Champs. Come on out, guys. How you doing? Thank you for coming out. Appreciate you coming out.
No doubt.
How you guys doing tonight? Glad to hear that. Glad you could make it over to us, and of course we will have the World Heavyweight Champion join us in just a minute. But I did want to take a chance, an opportunity to thank you for coming out and spending some time with not only myself but the fans as well. This is a great opportunity for you guys to introduce yourself to them, for the fans that don't know who you are, and for the fans that you've had and you currently have. It allows you to give them a little bit of insight into who you really are. So,
Yeah, definitely.
So thanks for coming out, and of course we're going to get right into it. You guys know the next guest pretty well. You guys have had some brutal matches with each other and spent a lot of time in the ring with them. So let's go ahead and bring out the next guest for the evening. Of course, everyone out there knows him as the real deal, Jayden Steele, but we're going to go ahead and bring him out this time. Come on out, champ. How's it going? Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
This opportunity. No doubt.
Well, once again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all three of you coming out and joining us today. And again, this is just an opportunity for you guys to introduce yourself to some new fans and build better relationships with some of your existing fans. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I want to start off by giving you guys an opportunity to kind of introduce yourself, which will be huge for people that don't know who you are or haven't ever seen you wrestle.
Right.
And also just give your current fans a little bit of insight. So we'll go ahead and start with Mr. Matthews. If you want to spend a few moments kind of introducing yourself, giving us some background information about you, I'd appreciate it.
All right. Well, as you said, Pete, Chris Matthews, that's me, man. I go by the Chosen One, the headliner. I've done a few things in this business, that I'm proud of, but above all, the biggest accomplishment I have, man, is getting a tag with my brother, man. And like you said, we're the tag team champion, so that had to be at the top of my list of things I've done that I'm proud of. Not much to know about me, man. I came from a rough background, love wrestling, now I get to live my dream, so that's fine with me.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And how about you?
As you also stated, I'm Wildcat Jamie Powell. Been in the business for a little while myself. Won titles here and there. I'm a man of soft words, don't talk a lot. All my actions, speak in the ring for me. If it wasn't for the fans, won't be able to do what we would like to do today, and that's the reason why I'm in it.
I think you appreciate that.
Well, we pretty much know each other at this table pretty well, but for like all the fans and stuff, man, second generation wrestler, come from a background, father went to the WWF, and I'm just following the footsteps of a business that I've been around my entire life, and it's just a blessing that I get to actually be able to do it now from being a child and growing up to actually being able to do something that I seen larger than life figures, and we'll get into it. It's quite a long story for the real deal.
But we're going to have an opportunity to address a lot of the questions I'm sure that fans might have about each one of you specifically. And this is an open forum, so you guys can be as brutally honest as you need to be or feel you need to be. I guess the first question that I actually have for you guys is how the three of you became sort of the stable that you guys have become. Hopefully.
That's going back a few years.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys can feel the fans in, because a lot of times when we're dealing with indie wrestling, the product is presented and that's it, and there's no real backstory about the relationships between you guys. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to kind of tell that story. So, I'm just going to open the floor and let you guys decide who wants to start off.
Well, I'll let them go first because they actually knew each other before I knew Jayden.
Me and Jayden met in Pensacola, actually.
Yeah,
a company called APW.
Yep, correct. Tiny as well.
Oh, Tiny as well.
We get some stories on that. But.
Yes, not to shit on nothing or anything, but we was the ones that we was lower card statuses, and we went out there and done what we love to do, and kind of done better than most of the card, and we just we just gelled with each other, and you can't really do that often when you step in the ring with somebody.
I mean, it was pretty much like right when I got to that locker room, like really the only person that like I adapted to and like got comfortable with like right out of the gate, and like learned a lot of things from him, and just like I guess communication in the locker room outside of just the business as well. But oh man, it's funny because we've shared so many locker rooms together, but we have yet to get in the ring with each other.
And
how does that work? You guys
know.
have known each other how many years?
Oh man,
wow.
Let's see, for me,
It's been a minute, and till in Milton, in the Fatal 4-Way, that we finally got to step in the ring and do a little thing here and there. But
but you still haven't never faced each other
one-on-one.
one-on-one.
Not one-on-one.
That goes all three ways. See, I met Jayden when I got to XW.
Okay.
I met Jayden when I got to XW, and I was the quiet guy in the locker room, man.
The mute.
But the thing was, in this business, you gravitate towards certain people, and you have to be able to, like I said, you have to be able to communicate, man. You can't communicate and it don't work. But, for me, what really got me and Jayden to bond was that ladder match.
That was 28 minutes of hell, dude. 20 minutes of hell.
That's weird, Daniel. That's how you bond, is getting your,
Yeah, there's nothing like just like hitting your buddy in the head with a steel chair, right?
Right.
Thank you, sir.
So I mean, that's what it was for me, man. And
unless you're a little bit of a masochist, that is completely off the chain as to why you bond over that. But
well,
who am I to judge?
It's what they call it's chemistry, man. Chemistry has a lot to do with how you bond with somebody, man. But me and Jayden also bonded outside the ring, man. We bonded outside the business.
Very closely.
We spent some time together, man. Talked on a lot of things, and we're kind of the same person, compared to the things we dealt with.
Yeah, very similar personalities for sure. And like I said, like it stretches. Like with Chris, Chris has like a general knowledge of wrestling, and he understands wrestling. He gets wrestling, and not only can I come and talk to him about wrestling, I can like come to him on real life scenarios and like things that I deal with. So like not only do I have a brother in the wrestling ring, I got somebody who's there for me outside of the business from my personal life and all that. So it goes a long way with me, and like I just don't sit there and open up or share anything to anybody like that. And him being so quiet at the very beginning, and then just like all the shows down the road, and just opening up and just finding out who he really was. It's just it's definitely something I wouldn't trade.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate the insight, and I'm sure the fans do as well. So we're briefly going to talk about some matches you got coming up, but we do need to take a break here in just a few seconds. So I'll go ahead and let you know you guys got a title defense January 5th. You've got a heavyweight champion defense, so we'll talk about that when we come back. So you guys will be ready for that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Welcome back, fans. We appreciate you coming back with us. As I spoke earlier, we are going to be addressing the title defenses and possible championships that these gentlemen will be fighting for on January 5th at the Milton Auditorium. So let's go ahead and talk to the headliners first. You guys have an actual title defense. You have a team known as Bad Intentions coming in from another promotion, WXW, apparently with the intentions of taking those gold belts away from you.
Right.
What do you guys have to say about that?
Well, first of all, Pete, I just want to point out that they're coming to our house, the house that we helped build.
Damn right.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you think for 1 second that Chris Matthews and Jamie Powell is just going to let some guys come in off the street from another promotion and say they're coming with bad intentions and take what we earned, what we worked for, what we've been working for, oh, then I'm sorry, sweetheart, but they got another thing coming.
Do you have anything to add to that, sir?
I think that pretty much sums it up.
Very good. Now, Jayden, you're in a little bit of a different situation. You have D3 from WXW coming up, and he claims that he's going to defend the WXW World Heavyweight title and the honor of his promotion against you. What do you have to say about that?
Well, look, man, this is exactly how I look at things. I didn't come into XW 2000 to be chasing titles and to be getting all this other extra benefits and perks on the side. Real deal Jayden Steele shows up to work day in and day out. I'm the first one there. I'm the last one to leave. I'm there for wrestling. It's in my blood. It's what I do. I was born in this business. I was raised around it. That's all I know how to do, Peter.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to have some Roman Empire, whatever you want to call him. I don't really need history lessons on it. Matter of fact, I really don't give a damn. You know, that's just being real. And history lessons be damned. Last I checked in school, I believe they fell after they conquered. And that's exactly what's going to happen January 5th.
That is correct.
Unified be damned. And at the end of the day, he will understand why they call me the real deal, with all puns intended.
Outstanding. I appreciate that. We're going to have an opportunity to talk about the matches a little bit later because I did want to get a question asked that I think the fans will really want to hear from you because it's going to give them a different perspective from all three of you, I suspect. There may be some similarities in your answers, but I think that there will be different perspectives. So the question I asked all three of you, and we'll just start over here and work our way around. The question is, what does being a champion, whether it's XW 2000 or in general, but essentially, what does being a champion really mean to you?
Well, for starters, man, a lot of people's got the misconception that the belt makes the man. The man makes the belt. Okay? So, take it for what it's worth, coming from me, it may not mean much. But for me, what it means to be a champion, man, is going in every single day, working hard, putting the work in, whether it's inside the business, outside the business, in the ring, outside the ring. As a champion, we have responsibilities, obligations, things that we have to hold near and dear. Okay? So, like you said, there may be similarities, but for me, my perspective on it is, as a champion, man, I show up, I put in the work, and I go out there and I give everything I've got, 150%. And I'm out there not doing it for myself. I'm out there doing it for the fans. The people who pay our bills, who come to see us, buy the tickets, show up at the shows. Because that's what it's about for me, man. It's not about, oh, I'm a champion, so therefore I'm the greatest in the world, blah, blah, blah. No, do I enjoy being a champion? Of course I do. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, the belt don't make the man make the belt.
Okay. And what do you have to add to that?
Very well said. I'm a firm believer of the same thing he believes in, and to be a champion, whether you're the top champion, tag champion, whatever. I mean, to me, it's like that means all your hard work that you've ever done and whatever is paid off, and the promoter has put a belief in you that you can carry the company and you can be his guy. And, you know, even when the fans, you know, choose that guy, you know, it's all your hard work is really paid off when you're actually at that status to be able to, you know, become a champion and go out there and do special things for the fans, you know, and promote the company and all that. So, and that's what a champion means to me. I mean, you know, all your dedication and hard work and what you work for is paid off. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people, you know, talk about being a champion, doing this and doing that, but I know for sure that, you know, our heavyweight champion, you know, not trying to, you know, jump on his bandwagon, you know, because I respect him. And, you know, the real deal, he's done a lot of stuff as champion. And one of the things that, I mean, you know, I think that's been important that he has done. I mean, I think recently he's visited this hospital for kids and stuff. And
That's correct.
I mean, you know, I heard about that, and, you know, just being able to, you know, go out there and do that, and it means a lot, you know.
Well, I think that's a good transition to go ahead and turn it over to you. So there was a visit that you did for the promotion to a children's hospital. Do you want to go ahead and elaborate on that for the fans?
Yeah, basically, you know, winning a title and all that, you know, I'm not the kind of guy that, you know, just wants to walk into a ring, win a title, and then just show up the next week, next month, whatever the case may be, and then just go in there, defend it, and then walk out. You know, like wrestling to me, it's in my heart, it's a passion of mine, I'm very dedicated to it, and, you know, I give back to this business. You know, as much as I give to it, I give back as well. You know, like, I went to Sacred Heart Hospital, which was over there in Pensacola, Florida, and I spent a day over there, and went there to visit about 22 sick children. There was probably like 27 there total, but I only got to see 22 of them. But going door to door, man, and being able to actually talk to them and put a smile on their face and just like the interaction with them, man, it was crazy, man. Like, it's just right in here, dude. And
yeah, that's the best part, man.
You know, like there was one individual that really stuck out to me, and God bless his little heart. His name's Elliot over there, and you know, he had like wasn't doing too good, and it broke me down. You know, like being able to do that, it makes you do something that you do makes you feel so happy, and like, and then once you leave something like that, and you see the situations at hand, and then when you leave after, you know, that kid was smiling and he just like made his day, you know, and he's just glowing brighter than ever, you know, and it's just, I broke down, like, you know, it's the reality of wrestling, you know, and it really makes me proud to be able to carry something and have an achievement like that belt, to be a heavyweight champion, to be y'all's heavyweight champion, to lead by example. You know, somebody has to lead that belt by example and be a leader in that locker room. And why not be Jayden Steele?
You see, the thing is, man, to point out what you said about kids smiling and everything, man, that's ultimately what we do it for people.
For the fans.
You know. And, you know, I couldn't have said it better myself. You know, because I know that's what I do it for, man. So.
I definitely appreciate all the information. I'm sure the fans do. Definitely gives us a little more insight into, you know, your thought processes and your personalities.
Yeah.
So the next question I have for you, and you know, you guys can kind of give the answer, you know, in whatever format you want to give. But what would you say is the biggest lesson, and it can be a life lesson if that's the case, that working in the wrestling industry has taught you?
The biggest lesson I would have to say is respect everybody.
Amen.
Okay.
Yes.
That's exactly the point.
Yes.
How many locker rooms have you gone into and it has been utter disrespect from those fans all the way down to the boys in the back?
It's been a few. I've been a part of a couple.
Would you guys agree that if that's the general attitude of the locker room as far as disrespecting the fans, since you brought that up specifically, would you agree that in turn impacts the or not necessarily the performance, but your guys' interactions and the way the fans take to it?
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, let's go ahead and think about that for a moment. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back, and then we'll continue with that particular conversation, because I think that's something that's really important for you and the fans and everyone. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back, fans. We appreciate you coming back with us for this additional segment. When we left, it seemed like I had asked a question that brought out a lot of passion from all three of you. So I think we need to go ahead and continue on that. So what do you say we roll up our sleeves and actually take this?
If that's the case.
Yeah, it's getting kind of warm in here, Pete.
Well,
Man.
it's about to get real.
Oh, well,
Or just
So,
set this here.
really
I think
hot.
I'll keep this on.
Yeah.
but when we left, you were talking about the importance of respect.
Right.
And you brought up the fact that it's not just respect for the locker room and the people that are in there, but how the wrestlers feel about fans.
Well, it's not only fans in general. It's the way that you're treating your brothers, that you're supposed to grow up into a business that you're supposed to be passionate
Yes.
about and look out for each other in.
Yes, because it's supposed to be a brotherhood, a family, and if you can't even respect,
And see, that's another
those,
thing.
I mean,
That's another point, I like to talk about. One of the first things you're talking as a businessman is we're all brothers and sisters, man. And me personally, I take that word brotherhood very seriously. Like me and Jayden spoke about earlier in the show, we not only bond inside the business, man, we bond outside the business, because at the end of the day, your personal life can affect your in-ring ability, can affect what you do inside the business, and if you don't have somebody to speak to, or somebody that can come and spend time with you, man, and let you know, hey, look, everything's all right, don't let this beat you up, don't let this get you down. And that's the meaning of brotherhood, man. Not only being there for somebody inside this business, but being there for somebody on the outside of this business. Because at the end of the day, man, that's what it's about. We're not in there to kill each other, man. And respect and brotherhood goes hand in hand. And,
That's a lost art.
yeah. And it's sad to say that. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, respect, brotherhood, those are probably the two biggest lessons I've learned in this business.
Jamie, you have anything to add to that?
I can't really add nothing to that. I mean, that's been like.
Well, you guys train together,
Yes,
so I
yeah.
mean,
When you get trained the same way, and or taught the same thing, and I mean, and that's what anybody is going to train you or teach you, is the respect and the brotherhood, and that's all we are. We are a family, and
I'm sure Jayden's dad taught him the same thing.
Well, see, half of the things that these guys are getting away with in the locker room nowadays, would that happen back in the day? Not so much.
no.
And I'll leave it at that.
well then, let's go ahead and close out the show with a discussion about the matches that you all have coming up January 5th. Again, we've already kind of touched on it, but
Let me take it off now.
but I did want to give you guys
Well,
the
heated in here.
opportunity to spend the last segment talking about the match, what it means, your impressions, what your thoughts. Just this is your chance to really cut loose. So let's go ahead and start with you guys. Actually, let's go ahead and talk about
Oh, man.
what you think this WXW promotion coming in, like you said, taking coming into the house, that sort of thing. Just let us know. Fill us in.
Well, it means war, Pete. That's all it can mean. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
another country invading our country. What you think that's gonna mean? War. And that's exactly what they're gonna get. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, like I said earlier in this show, they stepping into our house.
Yes.
We the champs.
Yes.
We run this show.
It's our house.
Okay? That's like a man breaking into your front door. What you gonna do? You just gonna let him walk on in here and take everything you work for?
No.
I think not.
I don't think anybody's going to allow that to happen. So.
They coming in my front door, our front door, and trying to take everything we work for. And it ain't gonna happen.
I'll put it to you like this, Peter. All three of them might have bad intentions, but all three of us are going to have bad actions.
And it ain't gonna be pretty. You see, at the end of the day, you see me, you see this good guy and all this. But what it really comes down to is when you step into my domain, when you walk in my front door and tell me you're going to take what's rightfully mine, oh, buddy, let me tell you, Chris Matthews gets real mean. Okay? And I don't appreciate some guys who can't even find their way around Florida the right way.
Elaborate on that. What do you mean?
Well, I seen the promo that they did talking about we driving all the way to Pensacola from Florida. Now, I don't even know how that's possible, but let me tell you something. You'll be in Pensacola, I'll be in Milton at the Santa Rosa County Auditorium at XW 2000, and I'll be ready to fight. So I guarantee when you get there, if you get there, you best come with bad intentions, because I'm going to tell you like this. I'm prepared for a fight, and I'll defend any day, anytime, anywhere that they want it.
Jamie, what do you have to add to that?
I don't think that hardly anything to that. I mean, he kind of just, not to shit on my own partner, I love him to death like a brother, but I think he just kind of done what John Cena normally does, and that's bury people. So I can't really,
Okay.
go off of that. I mean, except for, I'm ready, for a fight. And
Since you brought that up.
And one more thing to add to that, if that's how he feels, best believe I'll bring the show.
All right. Champ, what you got? You've got an interesting situation because based on promos, your opponent barely speaks English, it seems like. So,
Well, if anybody was smart or relevant in what I've been doing lately, all you gotta do is go right back to that promo where I sent the poor dude a nice Garmin GPS so he doesn't get lost. You wanna call me out? That's fine and dandy. I'm the real deal for a damn reason. It's not a moniker that I live by every single day. Day in and day out, I put it all on the line to do what I do. I may be a second generation superstar, but my dad be damned, he ain't gonna need that. He might need an EMT in a hospital wing somewhere by the time I'm done. Because I'm not coming there to say hello. When I get there, it's about to get real, and it's gonna get as real as it gets real fast, because real recognizes real talk. And he better recognize every bit of what I'm coming with, and it's a lot more than a fiery passion.
Well, I'd like to point out that maybe they need to share that GPS.
so that both Bad Intentions and D3 can actually make it to Milton.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
We just got these straps.
I'll be damn, if somebody's gonna come and try to take what's mine.
Well, if they're borrowing GPSs and stuff, I just want to point out it's not Milton, Louisiana, it's Milton, Florida.
There's a Milton, Louisiana?
Yes, for sure. I looked that up before I got on the show, and because I kind of figured this would get brought up, and
Well, we better make sure that we send them a letter or an email or something so that they don't get the wrong Milton then.
All jokes aside,
but
I'm ready for a fight.
and
This is a very valuable table, so let's not do it right now because,
So like I said, show up, don't show up, Chris Matthews will be there.
and by the end of the night on January 5th, when it's all said and done, the smoke is cleared. We walk out with our belts. He walks out like he always does, is on top. You're going to know that shit
Unified.
just got real.
And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, like he just stated, they're going to learn that XW 2000 is the top dog.
All right, well, there you go, fans. I appreciate you joining us for the show. I thank all three of you for joining us as well. Hopefully the fans got a little bit of insight into what makes you guys tick. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Thanks so much.